What's happening, guys? This is Mike's Total Dragon Channel, and today is Friday, and it is the weekend. We've got a 4-day at work because we're off on Monday for the holiday. So I skipped going to the shop on Wednesday because I didn't want to be in a rush, knowing I had all day on Friday off. So I went down there today, picked up all my books, very good size stack, got a really good deal on some books. They had a whole bunch of extra copies of these Bring on the Bad Guys one-shots, so I grabbed a handful of them in addition to the books that had come out this week. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Bring on the Bad Guys. I got this one-shot of Mephisto, Red Skull, Loki, and Abomination. With these type of books right here, it's kind of twofold. It's got its pluses and minuses. You know, you get really good, or the possibility of a really good story, but sadly it's one and done. So, you know, you can't have it all, but it is a good way to, you know, just kind of read about some cool characters. The Abomination is a character who doesn't get around very much anymore, so it's cool to see him. I love this cover of Loki. You know, you've got the Red Skull, the most evil of the evilest. And you've got Mephisto right here. So all in all, some very solid villains right here. This Bring on the Bad Guys, in case you're not familiar with it, basically what it is a series of one-shots Marvel was doing for this month, each one highlighting one of the villains of the Marvel Universe. So, and I think Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, he was the other one, but I didn't grab that one. I picked up Immortal Thor. This is supposed to be Al Ewing's new take on the character, you know, kind of like a new status quo deal. So Al Ewing has been carving out a very lengthy run on Thor, and it'll be interesting to see where he takes it in this direction, what direction he takes this book in. New issue of Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, Benjamin Percy here is the writer on it, and I want to say it's Joshua Cassara. He is the artist, and he's been the artist pretty much on it since day one. And his style really captures this book. A lot of really great, I like to call it just pure comic book scenes, really over the top type scenes. Fantastical creatures and drawings and set pieces, and he's really a great fit for this book. But Deadpool, Wolverine, you know what the deal is right there. Thundercats, nothing more I can say about how much I've enjoyed Dynamite doing all these nostalgia based books. And Thundercats right here is I believe it's its longest tenured book Dynamite's doing as far as these nostalgia properties. You know, obviously books like Vampirella have been running for a significantly while longer, but in regards to this particular publishing initiative, I think Thundercats is at the top. Ultimate Spider-Man, this is winding down right here. So we've only got a handful of issues left with Hickman on this particular volume. I'm sure there'll be a volume 3 of Ultimate Spider-Man after this one wraps up. The Avengers, Jed MacKay. You know, this is a weekend or a month in, month out pickup. I love his take on the Avengers. I love the team he's put together. Imperial War, Planet She-Hulk. This is, I'm not sure if this is a one-shot, but spinning out of the events of the Imperial War, She-Hulk is going to be getting her, I'm not sure if I believe it is her own book. We've got Stephanie Phillips teaming up with Jonathan Hickman, who's the one who's been leading this Imperial War, which is basically a reinvention of the galactic side of Marvel, the outer space side of Marvel. Let's see if there's... So this right here is just a one-shot. It says to be continued in Imperial 4. So I'm not sure what they have planned for it. I thought they were going to launch it into an ongoing, but Not really sure as of right now. Maybe in the previews edition it'll talk about it. The previews Marvel will mention. But we did get a really cool J. Scott Campbell cover right here, so you can't go wrong with that. Got another cool J. Scott Campbell X-Men cover right here of Storm. And this is the other Jed MacKay book that he's working on at Marvel. This is one that I have been reading since this launch, and I've quite enjoyed his take on the X-Men. So Jed MacKay, you can't go wrong there. And J. Scott Campbell Storm, you really can't go wrong with that. Absolute Wonder Woman, Thompson and Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman just deliver month in, month out. This book is always a joy to read. Space Ghost by David Pepose. This is another real solid book in that nostalgia-based universe that Dynamite has. They just wrapped up the first volume, which was 12 issues in an annual, and this is first issue, volume 2. Then, last but not least, we've got Emma Frost, White Queen, number 3. This is set in the time period before she joins the X-Men, when she's still a villain. As you can see right here, note the events of this series take place sometime after X-Men number 138. So this is just kind of a very fun look at Emma. A lot of behind-the-scenes type stuff. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 books this week. 4 of those were books I hadn't planned on picking up. These Bring on the Bad Guy one-shots, but, my shop owner cut me a deal on them because he had a ton of them in stock. So, all in all, very good week. I have got 4 days off, so I am very much looking forward to reading comics until my eyes bleed and talking about a whole bunch of comics. So, I hope you guys are ready for a sudden influx of content, because it's definitely going to be coming this week. So, you guys take care. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.